Today we have with us a 2022 Toyota Camry. This is the 8th generation of the current ongoing car, and with the Honda Accord hybrid gone out of the picture from the Indian market, this car now has no other major competitor left in the hybrid market. But even then, with a price tag of nearly 42 lakh rupees, is this car still worth it in the Indian market? Well, this is exactly what we're going to be finding out in this review. I'm going to be talking about the design, features, practicality, comfort, and what all the Camry has to provide for you. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's kick off this review from the front styling of the car. Honestly, from the pre-facelift version of the car, they haven't changed a lot, but the changes are very subtle and they do look good. For example, this time around we see a lot less chrome in the car, which honestly, in my personal opinion, is a better direction for the car. Chrome looks nice, but in the previous version, in my opinion, they had just overdone it. This time around, the only chrome that you do get to see is around the Toyota logo over here and towards the side of the car given alongside the grille. And talking about the grille, there are a few things that they've done really nicely with this as well, and that's because they have actually extended the grille from the center towards the fog lamps of the car as well. Now that gives the car a look that the grille is really big, but the actual grille of the car is just centered in the middle. Honestly, a very good styling feature. The other thing about the car which is just fantastic are the headlamps. The headlamps are a piece of art. They fit in really well, give a good styling cue to the car, and honestly are just a game changer. Another thing that is prevalent in all Toyota Camrys is the blue Toyota logo, which is a symbol of saying that this car is actually a hybrid. Now coming to the side profile, honestly for any car, the side profile is pretty much very simple, except for the Camry, because there are a few things that you really need to appreciate. First of all, Toyota being the owner of Lexus as well, they have given a few different body lines and a few curves on the car which are inspired from Lexus, and that is a big thing. Other than that, like I said, it's pretty simple. We have chrome finishes, for example, on the door handles or alongside the windowsills of the car. We have a great design of 18 inches alloy wheels, which does give this car a very good look. Driving on the road, those alloy wheels will sparkle like crazy. Towards the start of the video, I told you that the styling cues of this car have not really much changed, and there are a few subtle ones. And again, in the rear, you can see the changes are really subtle. For example, the tail lamp design right now has been changed a little bit. We have a much more darker tone to it, and honestly, with the LED tail lamps on, they really look good. The chrome finishes here on the rear side are not too overdone. We just have this chrome bar going along this and obviously the Toyota logo. But on the chrome bar over here, you can see we have Camry embossed on it, which looks quite cool. And obviously, being a hybrid car, they do have to advertise that. So they have given the blue logo over here along with an hybrid badging given right over there, which by the way was given on the side of the car as well. But before we move any further in this video, I would like to specially thank Pioneer Toyota, which is an authorized Toyota dealership here in the industrial area of Chandigarh. They're the ones who provided me with this car for a review. And if you have any questions regarding any Toyota car or even a Lexus car, because the Lexus Chandigarh showroom is coming up really soon as well. So if you have any questions regarding those cars, these are the people to contact, and their contact details have been given in the description down below. Now time to talk about the engine specifications for the Camry. Now from the pre-facelift version, there is no change under the hood. It still has that 170 brake horsepower 2.5 litre petrol engine, which being a hybrid is also paired to an electric motor, which is a permanent magnet one, and it gives you an additional 120 brake horsepower. All of that is paired to a CVT automatic transmission, which is a torque converter one, and because of all of this, the car is one of the most efficient luxury cars on the road. By how much you ask? Well, this car can provide you with a fuel economy of around 23 kmpl, which is unheard of in any other luxury car in this segment. Alright, so talking about features of the Toyota Camry, first of all, let's talk about the steering wheel. We have a beautiful leather wrap steering wheel in the car, really great in fit and finish. We have a multifunction steering wheel as well, buttons over here for controlling this display. We have buttons over here for controlling the volume and the voice command of the car. and we have a few buttons for, once again, given down over here for this display, but then over here we have buttons for the cruise control in this car, which is a great feature. We also have paddle shifters, which can be great for a little bit of a spirited driving point of view. Again, a pretty cool thing to have in your car. But then we come on to the major features, and that is this display right over here. First of all, the one thing that you would notice is that we do not have any kind of tachometers in this car, because this is the information that you get. We have charging, off, eco and power. So eco is the time when the hybrid powertrain of the car is actually working. So wherever you see the needle in the eco mode, that means the hybrid system is working. Power is when the engine kicks in, and then charging whenever the battery is actually charging. And if you're wondering where the actual tachometer for the car is, for example, when the engine does kick in, and that is actually in the heads-up display of the car. I don't know if you can actually see it, but we do have a heads-up display in the car, which gives us the gear information, gives us the digital speed out, we have the tachometer, and we also have a compass in that heads-up display. So that's how you can see your RPM in this car. But then we have this display, which is very useful and is quite big as well. And we have this small little indication over here, which means that it's in EV mode. For example, the car right now is started, but it's in EV mode because, well, the engine doesn't need to kick in and use any kind of fuel. And because it's in EV mode, we have that small little icon over there. Then we have system menus over here, which can be controlled from there. The display of this car is just like any other display that you get in any other car. It gives the driver all the necessary information that a driver may require, such as the range, fuel economy settings, customization for the car, and all those small little things have been given in the display. So it is a great feature for the driver to have, and the Camry comes equipped with it. And then we come on to the infotainment display of the car, which is a great new feature for the car, because previously we only got a 8-inch touchscreen in the car. Now we have a 9-inch one, and the biggest thing is that it now supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is a very necessary, and it's a very good thing to have. Moving down below, you can see we have the AC controls of the car over here, but a great thing in the Camry is that you have 3-zone AC climate control, one for the driver, one for the passenger, and one for the rear seats of the car. Moving even down below over here, you can see we have, first of all, features for cool seats in the car, which is good. And then you have a few different driving modes of the car, like eco mode, normal mode, sport mode, and EV mode, which is one of my favorites for the car because it gives you that sense of electric vehicle type of feel. Moving up over here, you can see we have a wireless charging pad over in this car, which is a great thing to have in today's day and age, where phones are now rapidly increasing to support this feature. Starting with the practicality, we're going to start with the glove box of this car, which is actually very big. I was not expecting the glove box of this car to be this big, and practicality wise it gives you a good storage cubby. However, you don't have any kind of organization, which is a little sad to see, but other than that, storage wise it is good. Moving on to the driver's side over here, you have this small little storage cubby over here for keeping coins, toll receipts, etc., which is a very useful thing for the driver to have. Moving to the center console over here, we have 2 cup holders for the front passengers in this car, and we also have this armrest which can be opened to reveal a massive storage cubby. Like seriously, one of the biggest that I've ever seen in a car. Storage wise, here you will not have an issue. The door pockets of this car are also okay. I mean, we have a bottle holder over here, but the width of this thing is very small. So like you can't keep that much things over here, but still it can be used. Similarly, even for the rear seats over here, you can see we have one storage cubby for a bottle over here, and other than that, not that big. And in the rear cabin, the only storage cubby, surprisingly, that you do have is of the seat pockets for the passenger and for the driver's side seat. You don't have any kind of armrest storage over here. This is just a simple armrest, but you do have 2 cup holders for the rear seats over here, which is good to see. And now coming to one of the most important parts of our practicality session, which has to do with the trunk of this car. First of all, let's talk about opening this trunk, because we have 3 ways to open it. One is a request sensor given over here, but we'll talk about that later. We have a button on the key fob of this car, and we have a button on the driver's side of the car, which you can press and hold, and the trunk opens. Now, coming back to the request sensor in this car, if you try to see where it is, you actually really can't find it because it's actually given on the right side of the trunk. This is where the request sensor of the car is, and the reason why I'm actually stating this in the video is because I actually looked for a good solid 2 minutes trying to find the request sensor, and at one point I actually thought that the car didn't have a request sensor to open the trunk. But sure and behold, it does have one, but it is given on the offset on the right side. But the trunk of this car really is very big. Honestly, I don't think that you will have any kind of issue storing anything over here, because that is what we expect from a sedan as well. Easily putting in 3 or 4 bags over here, or even 5, would not be a surprise. Now, talking about comfort in the new Toyota Camry, again, there is not a difference between the pre-facelift and the facelift one. But even then, if we do talk about comfort as it is, these leather seats, perforated leather seats actually, are really comfortable. They grip me in well. I don't think that I'll be dangling around here and there. Everything is in my reach. I have 2 memory seats in this car as well, which is fantastic. And obviously, being a front seat, I can absolutely adjust this seat however I want. I even have lumbar support in this car, height adjustability, under thigh support. Everything is really good. One thing that I am so thankful for that this car has is ventilated seats as well. We don't have heated seats, but we do have cooled seats. So my front seat experience in this car has been pretty great, as in all other cars as well. The rear seat experience is what I really want to see in this car. So let's head on over there. Alright, so coming into the rear seats, I have switched sides over here, and I'll tell you the reason for that, why, but in a moment. First of all, I talk about my initial impressions for the rear seats. Well, they are the same perforated leather seats back over here as well. So we're okay over there. Space-wise, we have a lot of legroom. I am pretty tall, I'm 6 feet 2, and still you can see I have about 6-7 inches of legroom, which is great. Talking about headroom, I have about 2 or 3 inches of headroom as well. Again, very spacious car. But if in any case you thought that this is not enough space for you, just press this button and you can move the front seat forward. That is the reason why I switched on to this side of over here, because obviously you can't disturb the driver. But if you have a driver and this seat is empty, well, go on, play with the seat and have a lot more legroom, which is just fantastic. But what is even greater and what's even more fantastic is that these seats are actually recliner. Given on the middle center console, here in the rear seats, we have a touch screen. Just power it on and then you can recline the seats. You can change the radio in the car. You can turn up the rear sunshades of the car, which is really good. We also have sunshades over here. They are manual, unlike the automatic one given in the rear, but still they have given the feature, which is really great, especially in a country like India where there is direct sunlight and it's quite hot. This is a great feature. Honestly, I don't think you will ever complain about comfort when it comes to the Camry. Alright, so let's talk about the conclusion of the Toyota Camry. So let's talk about it in the fronts that we've discussed in this video. Designing is really good. I mean, it's a Lexus inspired car, so it definitely looks good. You cannot go wrong buying this car in terms of design. Then let's come on to the practicality for the car. This car has a lot of storage. The trunk is pretty good as well. You can go for a long road trip in this car without an issue with your family, which is good. Then we're going to talk about comfort. This car is very comfortable. I mean, it's a luxury car, so you have all those things such as ventilated seats. We have recliner rear seats. So in terms of comfort, even in terms of space, everything is good in this car. So you cannot go wrong buying this car again in terms of comfort. Then we're going to come on to the features. Now, this is one location where I think Toyota needs to work on, because this car is not that feature rich. Again, it has all the features that we're looking for in a luxury car. It has all of them, so no issues over there. But it's just that competitors of this car in the same price tag of around 42 lakhs, for example, the Skoda Superb or even an entry-level Mercedes C-Class, they have much more features compared to this car. But what they don't have is this car's performance. Because it's a hybrid car, it has a major advantage. In today's world, all of us are trying to go into the electric powertrain. Many manufacturers are coming out with electric cars and people are starting to buy electric cars as well. But electric cars, especially in India right now, are not that successful, because you cannot go for long road trips in the car. You always have that range anxiety. It takes a lot of time for the car to charge, and electric cars have their own issues as well. But with a hybrid car, you can actually enjoy everything. You have the petrol engine so that you can go for long road trips, and for the petrol enthusiasts as well, this car is perfectly good. And then for electric cars, you can drive this car in full EV modes, and also in case it's an emergency, you can always use the petrol engine, so you don't have range anxiety or you don't need to worry about not going for long road trips because you have an electric car. So that is why I think hybrid cars are the near future. Toyota coming out with the Camry did a fantastic thing. And honestly, I think A hybrid car is what the market needs right now, and the Toyota Camry just fits in perfectly. So that is my conclusion on the Toyota Camry. Honestly, it's a very, very good car, and even with the price tag of 42 lakh rupees, it is a justified car in my opinion. But that's all for this video, guys. I hope you liked this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below your favorite part about the Toyota Camry. Share this video as much as you can, and a subscribe to the channel would be absolutely amazing because it gives me so much more motivation to create content for you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.